Good afternoon, everybody who decided to join today's seminar of Sano Center. It's almost 5 minutes past 2, so I think that we can start. And more or less, number of participants is stable. So it will be untypical seminar today. Usually at Sano Seminar, speakers present result of their research. And today, what I would like to present results not on my own or my colleague research, but the results of the project, which a European project from the series of coordinated support action with a nice name, EDITH. And it was a project about the European virtual human twin. On this first slide, you see a link to the project, and many information which I will be talking about are also available on this website. And to a large extent, my presentation today will be based on presentations which were given during 10 days ago on the final review of EDITH. And in EDITH, we participated as a CypherNet team. Of course, somehow Sano was involved, and besides of me, there was also Marek Kasztelnik, Maciek, Janek, Piotr Nowakowski, and Piotr Połeć. So some of them are here with me and will, let's say, maybe answer questions which will be difficult for me. So what I would like to present in today. First of all, I would like to present the route from the early ideas of virtual physiological human to what was somehow embraced and organized in a kind of roadmap looking something like 10 years ahead. So I would like to go through the ideas of digital twin, virtual human twin, and then about what are the main achievements of EDITH. And in the EDITH, CypherNet team contributed with a kind of demonstrator of a platform which is expected to be developed in the future. So I will present this platform, present the functionality of this platform, because it was developed based on our previous engagement in this computer medicine-like project. And it may be used also in Sano, but not only in Sano. It's something universal. And in the first part, which will be a kind of a concluding part, I will also present everything what is around this idea of virtual human twin. I will present the components of this European Twin Initiative. So this is the plan for seminar today. It is also a kind of self-service in this seminar. So, well, if you have any question during the seminar, so ask this question on chat or question on answers, and Mateusz, who is helping me, will stop me, and I will try to answer the question. But as usual, we will have time for discussion at the end. So, well, it is good to recall somehow the beginning of what we in Sano are involved, what we in Sano are engaged. Well, many people were involved somehow in something what we could call computational medicine. However, the most important was initiative almost 25 years ago, undertook by Peter Hunter in the framework of Fusion project. Fusion project is still alive. If you go to the website of the Fusion project, you will find all what was done in historical time, but you will find also a current development and all activities of this group in New Zealand, and Peter Hunter himself. Then, well, it was the result of this Fusion project. We have this virtual physiological human. It's sometimes which is called in silico medicine, and which engage computer simulations into all aspects of prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of diseases. And well, one of the outcome of this idea, a kind of organizational outcome, is well known to you, VPH Institute, and well, which is organizer of many activities, especially not only these conferences, which we have opportunity to attend each second year. For a long time, activities of VPH Institute were accompanied by activities of a kind of center of excellence, which was idea of for a long time. It was idea of Peter Coveney, and then so this was the landscape of this field for a long time. And when the development of all of these infrastructures, computing infrastructures, and also gathering of new methods of modeling resulted in the idea of digital twin, which really was idea of a very precise digital representation of physical objects in general. So you have digital twins for, let's say, for ships, for energy system. So it is, but what is important that they function in the context of digital version of the whole environment. And well, then it was idea to bring this concept to computational medicine. And well, it was in the beginning of EDITH project. There was a lot of discussion about how it should be formulated and what it should mean in precise. And the result was a position paper which was initiated by our previous chairman of Sano International Scientific Committee, position paper, how the idea of virtual human twin evolved from the idea of digital twins and what does it mean. So it was defined as a virtual human twin as an integrated. So it's very, very important that it is multi-scale, which means that it takes into account different type of phenomena, different scales of phenomena, multi-temporal, multidisciplinary representation of and quantitative representation of human physiology and pathology. So the vision is, this complete vision is to build something from cells, tissues, to organs, and to entire bodies. And not only a single person, but of course this is something which is important from our approach to computational medicine and what we are looking for is because we are looking at personalized medicine, but it also can take into consideration something what is going on in a kind of population. So of course we perfectly know our objectives, and this virtual human twin is going into the same direction. From predicting the risk to disease to proposing changes in lifestyle, then, if necessary, to plan medical treatment, but also it can take part in virtual, for example, drug test, and of course planning therapies to improve well-being. But anyhow, the details about this approach are in this paper by Markowicz, Conti, De Vos, Melone, and Lisbeth Gerris. And well, so on this background, we have EDITH, which is a coordinated support action project with revision to facilitate realization of these opportunities which are brought in by virtual human twin idea. And well, it takes into account that this requires collaboration of different type of bodies, but it's not only just building simulation modules, elaborating a kind of software, but it also takes into account the whole environment. And it is not a research, clear research project. It is a project which the main idea was to provide, to elaborate a kind of roadmap for organization of what is necessary to implement such idea. And taking into account all what is important from this point of view, how to involve different communities in Europe, and well, to elaborate tools, software tools, on top of available computing and storage system in Europe. And so it was the mission, it was a focus on this. And more detailed, the objectives of this project were just four. So first of all, to build a kind of ecosystem. And to build, we will learn more about this, but to build the ecosystem which is, let's say, spans over all these European Union member states and also associated countries. Then it was this roadmap, and the idea was that in the framework of this project, it will be implementation of a federated repository, which will gather 4 types of assets, namely models from the point of view of mathematical models, data sets, algorithms, and also practices. And finally, will be the fourth objective was to design architecture of a simulation platform, and to design having in mind existing already available models. And of course, aside from the team took part in all these activities. However, the most important and probably more was our participation in development of demonstrator of proof of concept of this simulation platform. Because the idea of EDITH was just to elaborate a kind of blueprint for such a platform, not platform itself. And well, I think that you will find more looking at organization and partners of each project, namely, well, organization as a typical European project was with work packages, and the name of these work packages are closely related with objectives of EDITH project: mapping ecosystem, repository, simulation platform, sustainability, and vision. And project was coordinated by Lisbeth Garris, who is the director of VPH Institute. And well, the project was realized by a consortium of 19 partners from 9 European countries. I think that it is important to look at these partners because these institutions which you have listed here are institutions which are important from the point of view of building a kind of collaborations between in the framework of computational medicine. Well, somebody who produced this map has shifted Krakow a bit to west, but anyhow, so you see this group of project coordinator, all these institutions from different countries, And well, it's a kind of if you look at this, you will find these institutions, and well, if you are looking for collaborators, it's good to have links with its partners. For Sano is closely collaborates, for example, with Bologna University, with University of Amsterdam, as well as we have collaboration also in India, different other projects. So, so this is something what is interesting to have in mind. And then it's this ecosystem was realized as was understood as something which is very, very broadly, in the sense that it was a different type of actors. So it was on one side, it was infrastructure for computing. On the other side, it was people from industry, and especially on the previous slide, there was information about industrial advisory board. It was maybe it will be also good to have a look at this industrial advisory board, because you will find many institutions which are active in the area of medicine, recognize Roche, Philips, Siemens. So it's it's quite a significant collection of institutions involved in this. So it is you have research and innovation actors, healthcare provider, and also all these organizations of patients, governments, funding, infrastructure, ethics, law, and this social in influence part, which is also important for building such a community. So one of the effort which it devoted was to gather these people, and well, it was two such large meetings, one in the beginning of the previous year in Paris with almost 175 people, and 222 registered partners in Amsterdam in the middle of the previous year. So it means that EDITH is the idea of this virtual human twin is recognized by a quite a large group of people, and well, these people come from not only from science, not only from clinics, not only from patients' organizations, but also from regulations, from policymakers involved in this. So it was about building a kind of ecosystem in the sense understanding by people. A repository of platform. So repository of platform, the idea was that there should be a place where we can put all elaborated via different research and new models. Then also data, And then, based on this, on these models, we can elaborate simulation modules. And of course, it should be validated. So it's it is a kind of collection which should be taken into account. And well, as it is community effort, so people should be able to have a kind of repository of these models, and well, maybe for different type of diseases, it would be possible to use different models and try to find the one which is the best suited for a specific solution. So it was activity which was running here. It was first of all building a kind of a concept of such a platform, then and catalog. Then it was architecture of simulation platform. Finally, it was necessary to collect many use cases, already models, transform into simulation models already available, and then to demonstrate that such a platform is possible to be elaborated and will be somehow useful. Of course, here it was it was possible to be done because of previous engagements of project partners into different of our research, and these models which were used here were elaborated in previous time. Then there was a discussion in the framework of EDITH about what is necessary in order to make this idea sustainable in this. So it means that a platform with specific repository catalog should survive quite a long time, and it is something what should be possible only with engagement not only research institutions but also involvement of different types of stakeholders, having in mind also commercial participation. There was elaboration of business model for such type of activities. And well, what we can see here is a kind of roadmap, which which was the first draft of this roadmap was elaborated already in the middle of 2023, after more or something like 8 or 9 months of the project. And it is on one side, it is a kind of description of what we have in our disposal. So the final roadmap is a description which is almost 300 pages, and it was one of the deliverables of the project, and it is still in a review process. After review, it will be available to everybody through the website of the project. And what you can see here, the structure of this roadmap with a kind of introduction, It explains what is the situation at that moment, what is the origins of this roadmap. Then it is the overview of current state of the art of elements of this human twin. So its subchapters deal with in silico medicine, or with data-driven approach, with available infrastructure platforms, organizations which take part in these regulations, different type of public policy on European level, and actors who take part in this. Then we have also standards, regulations, and all these social aspects which are important in this part. And finally, we have vision for virtual human twin. The next chapter, which presents detailed information how this idea will be developed. Then we go to all of this technology related to realization of virtual human twin. And well, how the idea of virtual human twin will be uptaken by for practice in the area of health. So, and finally, there is a quite important chapter related recommendations, and also next step, which will be taken into account after EDITH. And well, so you know, we are in the situation when there is a kind of general vision for about on one side about different types of environment in which computational medicine will be developed. Well, one of the promise of the project was a kind of book publications based on roadmap. I will hope that it will happen. And well, this slide presents, let's say, something what is important from the point of view where we are and where we are going. So these three phases present further steps of development of this idea, and introducing this. The first one is in which we are still is building foundation and demonstrating potential. Next step will be about integration. And finally will be deployment, and we hope that in this last phase, usage of virtual human twin will be popular. So, well, it's from the point of view of our activity in Sano, it is quite important that we are in the, let's say, main path of what is going on in European Union from the point of view of development of computational medicine. But it is not just something uncoordinated, uncorrelated research. We have a kind of large community involved in this. Well, and now I would like to go to what we elaborated at Cyfronet. This is first of all, we are responsible for this demonstrator of proof of concept of this platform. So first, we have looked at the features which are required from such a platform, and this platform will be used by many research teams, but for simulation. So which is very similar to a classical experiment. So the most important features which are required from such a platform is to bring repeatability. It is the simplest way, because we have we should have ability to repeat by a researcher the result of the research. Then replicability with different teams but the same experimental setup. And finally, reproducibility. Then when we have different teams, we have different experimental setup. It means that it could be different type of models used. And well, finally, the results should be the same. And then it was clear that there will be a lot of simulation experiments. So introducing a kind of order into these different type of experiments was required, and versioning was one of the required feature. And well, it was something which was built not just for individual usage but a group. So features which enable management by a group, it should be relatively simple, and access to infrastructures, to compute and storage infrastructures, should be very simple without taking unnecessary time to recognize this way. And of course, simulation results should be also presented in a most reasonable way, in a way which can take decision if they are still interesting or should be abandoned. And in order to then we had in our disposal a number of use cases, number of applications. So we have analyzed these applications. We have looked at them from the perspective of computer science. It was a collection of software modules with different data. And we took into account these basic features. And of course, according to this, we build a system, build a kind of a system which on top of what was already elaborated in the framework of previous project, but it here in the framework of EDITH, it became more universal, because in the previous project we had a specific set of computational medicine modules. Here we have a quite different type of these modules, so it became more universal. And well, it was also elaborated in such a way that it would be possible to make use of access to this catalog and repository, which was, let's say, elaborated idea of these two catalog and repositories were elaborated in the framework of EDITH. So this simplified architecture presents the main components of the demonstrator. The main part is still a model execution environment, and then it is presented how it make contacts with model repository in form of Git here, how it collaborate with different type of data. Different type of data. It could be data repository of type of, for example, data versus Zenodo, and simplified access to, in this case, to HPC computational backend. And also, because of all these security requirements, also this part which is responsible for authentication here. And demonstrator works in the scope of one job or separate jobs triggered by workflows. The demonstrator is able to run applications in form of workflows, and of course the system is able to run on HPC and also on cloud systems. And then we provided a kind of proof of concept of implementation of this with a series of different type of specific solutions from computational medicine. For example, from in silico world project, some colleagues in Sano work on the osteoporosis model. So it was a model which consists of 5 computational steps. It was a kind of a pipeline, and demonstrator was able to orchestrate this pipeline to arrange access to integrate repository. And the screenshot shows one of the steps of this computing, and shows that a researcher could look what is going on in this. In the framework of in silico world, it was used, for example, for uncertainty qualification here. So this version was suitable for research. Another version was a bit closer to a specific patient. It could it could be oriented on a specific patient with a specific type of data, and of course all of these simulation steps, which consist of which this model consisted, were possible to be performed here, and it was possible to not only to take the data from this patient repository, but also to put new data. So, and it was assigned to a specific person. OC defects, it is also related with, let's say, key in this line, and it is interesting because it is a typical multi-scale model. So we have a different scales here, because we have a knee joint. We have organ, we have tissue. We are going into cells, and when we go into intercellular regulatory network. So it was possible to demonstrate computing in these multi-scale models with this approach, and it was possible to spread the whole computing on different stages, organize usage of computing with libraries like Abacus and tool like MATLAB. So very flexible and very easy to operate from the point of view of a single user. And it's no explanation how it was organized here. From the global model to cell model, and what is important, everything computing input data and the results were under the control of the user. So it was model code was stored in a dedicated Git repository. It could be launched, the whole application in automatic manual mode. So it's from the point of view of a single user, it's very handsome. Glycemic control model, which was relatively simple. So it was input data were just clinical data from anonymized data, including basic information about diabetic status, nutrition, insulin and glucose measurements, and as output was patient-specific insulin sensitivity profiles. When cardiovascular system, which this time was a kind of pipeline elaborated this time at Queen Mary University of London, very similar to what we have in Sano. Intensive care model, so different type of application. What is important here, it's based on Python language, and another kind of workflow based with Python scripts. So you see, this demonstrator support different types of applications, monolithic workflows, interactive. It could be also containerized. And what you have seen is something so there was a different type of this virtual human twin, specific organs, and it means that still demonstrator, which probably will stick to the original name, model execution environment, is still available, and well, we encourage to use everybody who is running something like this, in which will free from wasting time on let's say arranging a kind of log book with different details about what was run with which data. And of course, we have a follow-up project, which is at that time at both places, at Safranet and also in Sano, namely Gemini. And in this Gemini project, model execution environment, this demonstrator will be run on. So if we look at the result of EDITH, so we with this idea of a virtual human twin, we have a kind of a clear way of collecting all this digital representation of knowledge on human body, on human physiology, pathology. And well, more and more people will contribute to with resources, with models. It will mean that it will be more credibility assigned to this. And of course, different type of infrastructures will be available for this for people who are running these virtual human twin models. So the vision, which is very close to from a research point of view. So the idea is following: everybody interested in computer medicine can access digital twin developed by anyone in Europe, can search catalog by different data type, by different, let's say, type of patient bodies. And well, it's possible to find a model which will be suitable for available data sets. It's possible to run all these models. You can build a kind of a structure with these models, so it will be possible to orchestrate these separate modules into one multi-scale, multi-system. And finally, if you have something like this, you can provide a kind of a script for the whole virtual human twin. And of course, it may be reused by you or may be reused by others. So it is a way in which is important from the point of view of, let's say, saving time and not wasting the time for once again implementation of the same simulation modules. You can simply reuse what other people has done, and well, according, of course, to the timeline which was presented in EDITH roadmap. And of course, well, there is a chance that models will be validated by many teams, so you can let's say, use them as you, for example, are using procedures in mathematical libraries on your computers. So it's something which is very attractive. Well, on doing this, don't forget about something which was outcome of in silico award, but well, it was outcome of with good simulation collection of good simulation practices. This book is open access type, so you can look at this, and it is good to know about this good simulation practice simply in order to have valuable results without, let's say, experiencing what are the results of bad simulation practice. And also, it's good to know that, well, maybe I will start with the final link. With present what is going on around this European Virtual Human Team initiative. Well, I hope that it will opens. So please, so you can see here something which resulted, which is the result of activity in the framework of EDITH project. So you have here information about what this virtual human twin initiative is going to achieve. You will find here the ideas which are to some extent copies of ideas of EDITH. And you will find here also information about something what is really very important from the point of view of data. This European idea about European health data space, some regulations. We hope that this data will be available not only for patients, but it will be also available for research. And I think that it will, and it is a quite important information about amount of funding which will be devoted to development of this type of research environment. And also, well, we will have a kind of we'll have a kind of a tender in which, well, many institutions are trying to convince European Commissions that they have best possible solutions for this idea, to build state-of-the-art platform, to build and also to support for a long time this support, and well, based on European compute and storage environments. So it means that besides of this, let's say, surrounding, which is from the area of research, we have something which will help us in the sense of not only in infrastructure, but also a kind of environment in which such a development will be reasonable. So I think that this is the end of my presentation, and well, if there are some questions, I invite to ask them just now.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Marianne, for this nice and interesting presentation. It looks it's a big vision, lots of work, 300 pages of documentation.
It's not only documentation, it is a kind of, let's say, collection of information, what is the status and how it should look like in the future. So this is a, and it, you know, with 19 partners, with a lot of experience with people like Markovic County and Lisbeth Gary. So yes, these people spent whole life in this area, so it was not so complex.
But still, for me, it's not quite clear how the modeling will be done. Because let's say the most impactful medical project was the Visible Human in the US 94, but then the concept was simple. We have a human body, we cut it into pieces, we image it, then we build geometric model, and then based on that, we build simulators, okay? It was done with 1 mm cut, then female 0.3, then Chinese says, we do it better with 0.1 mm. But again, it was limited to morphology, but anyway, it was consistent for the whole body. Then some other project like Blue Brain, they say, okay, we are going to model electrophysiology. Bam, we are doing it for the brain. Or Allen Brain Institute, we are doing it for genomics. Here, for me, it's not quite clear how the modeling will be done. It looks to me that, and what will be modeled, it looks to me that so far is a sort of open basket. Okay, I do femur. Okay, I put my femur model in the basket. I do blood flow. I do this into the basket, but is it going to be somehow consistent? It's one issue. Second issue is modeling of femur. I'm not saying it's simple, but in comparison to other tissue, it's really simple because we have only geometric and physical modeling. And of course, these two fields are very well known. The same with blood flow. But if we are talking about tissues, are we going to model at the level of electrophysiology? Are we going to model at the level of molecules? And if, what sort of modalities we are going to use? So many questions. Somehow, I don't think this part is clearly covered, or maybe my questions are too naive and I don't understand them.
No, well, the same, let's say, thoughts are not these thoughts are and are not only yours, because well, first of all, I think that we have already learned that human body is really very complex, and you are right in the sense that what EDITH propose, it proposes a kind of basket for different type of models, and well, but what is, I think, attractive in this approach is that it is just one basket, and it is something that, having also in mind this European virtual human twin initiative, that it will not disappear after at the end of one project, yes, that it will survive somehow and will be used by other researchers, and maybe we will go with some of these solutions to a kind of certificate medical procedures. So, of course, so it is a kind of, let's say, conceptual framework for such a basket. Of course, in order to make use of it, it will be necessary to somehow to think about how evaluate the quality of these models. Yes, then there is a hope that different type of models will be somehow arranged in such a way that it will be possible to link one with another. And then, having such a collection, it will be possible to have for a specific disease, for example, to have a model of the whole environment, which may be not necessary to be simulated in such a detailed way. So, this is a kind of a framework, and the idea that it will survive, let's say, all PhD and not only PhD projects. So, but of course, well, it doesn't mean that we do not need to pursue research on best models, and we do not need to. We still need to work on elaboration of such approaches in which we will, for example, we'll try to answer the question: what should be composed with what for a specific type of disease. So this is how I understand this idea.
Yeah, definitely many challenges. Usually, this kind of big projects require so-called SWOT analysis, meaning analyzing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Does anyone have done this SWOT analysis for the project?
A kind of this is in
Chapter 4, I see, but it looks
a kind of this is in part of introductory part of a roadmap, but I think that it will be probably necessary to repeat from time to time, because everything is changing, and especially the way in which people build simulation models is also changing. So it's I think that this is one possibility. Another, it's although there was quite a large number of participants in these meetings organized by EDITH, coming from companies which are involved in healthcare. So the question is how this idea will, let's say, be transferred into the core of these companies like Philips, Siemens, or Roche, or something like this.
Exactly. It was my next question because, I also talked to those companies for years, and interest is one story, but tangible actions, it's another story, and it's not so easy to get an involvement of those companies. They, of course, keep observing, but I think guidance would be more active guidance will be very useful. Okay, so thank you, Marian. Thank you very much.
Well, one of the way it's not only companies, but also I think politicians. So it's if all what is in the vision of EDITH should be realized, it's necessary to support the research in this area. And while I think that decision makers about, let's say, next framework programs will take into account the fact which is drawn in this roadmap with this perspective until 2020, 35.
34, 5, yeah.
Yes. So this is also a kind of this, and besides of this large 300 pages roadmap, they are still working on elaboration of something what will be shorter for decision makers, and which will be published in 7 different languages of Europe. And fortunately, it will be also published in Polish because it will be available during our presidency. So I hope that during the conference which is in preparation by Cluster Life Science by our friend Kazimierz Murzyn, in the middle of May, which is called Life Science for EU, that at that time will be this Polish version will be available. And at this conference in May, there will be 2 keynote speakers, namely chairman of our International Scientific Committee, Alfons Hoekstra, and also coordinator of EDITH, Lisbeth Gary. So I think that it will be a good opportunity to meet with them and also to go into some details. So it is something what I think will make this roadmap and the idea of virtual human twin, let's say, still alive. And I would also, let's say, somehow recommend to look at the demonstrator in current version model execution environment, which is known to some of our colleagues, but well, please consider if it will not help you, it will not speed up your research if you decide to use it. So
I think this idea to involve politicians is very good. I think it would be probably the most useful to look at the cases of their children or grandchildren, which have some health problems, and the project basically offers a solution. Then it's really more convincing for the politicians. Last question. I don't see any component of AI. Is it hidden or is it not considered?
oh no, component of AI is discussed in the roadmap. So it is discussed well on the basis on the knowledge which was available in the middle, more or less in the middle of previous years. So it is discussed, and there is one of main conclusion is that, of course, it would be good to have this explainable artificial intelligence because just a clear decision it's also a part of that decision support system, but that just deciding about some solutions related to a specific patient without giving why will not be accepted by medical doctors. So
Yeah.
So this issue
Okay.
is presented there.
Okay. Thank you, Marian.
Thank you. Well, it's almost 20 minutes past 3, so I was probably boring. So in a week, we will have more about artificial intelligence. So the title is already on Sano Seminar website. So I would like to, first of all, to thank you for participation. Please don't forget about EDITH. It was not only EDITH PIAF, but also EDITH as a European, very important European project. And I kindly invite you to be with us in a week from now. Thank you very much.